Alright, hello everybody, and welcome back to the Healthy Orange Movie Reviews, the show where we bring you film criticism that is honest, insightful, and not least of all fun. I'm your host, Bennett Campbell Ferguson. I've got my wonderful panel of film enthusiasts today, starting with Allie Bolt.
Okay, quick question. Who do you think would win in a fight? Me versus whoever gave Peggy Carter half of a line?
I think that question answers itself.
I'm guessing, well, that was probably like Adam Reed or Adam McKay or Peyton Reed, so...
Adam McKay. You could take down Adam McKay.
I have passion behind me, though.
I don't know how well middle-aged white dudes fight.
And also we have Maxwell Myers.
If working across from a bar for almost 9 years has taught me, it depends on how much alcohol the middle-aged white dude has. A little, pretty good. Too much, still pretty good. It's a really fine line.
On the edge there. And Mo Shawnette.
I forgot that one guy from Mad Men played Howard Stark.
And his mustache.
And his Mighty Marvel mustache.
The real question, though, is he also in the fight?
Wait, the mustache?
Well, I don't know how much that affects things.
Well, now we have a quandary.
Alright, so today we're reviewing the film Dope. It's an indie Sundance hit about a kid who has to get rid of a bag of drugs stuffed in his backpack. And so to kick it off, let's just go around the circle and say what we thought of the film.
Okay, I thought it was really good. I didn't really know what to expect going into it. And it really seemed like it encompassed a lot of different genres and kind of themes throughout. But I was really impressed at how well they all kind of wove together. And I think a big part of that too, for me at least, was the music. I always love when the music kind of gets woven in and out between what the audience is hearing versus what the characters are hearing. And I thought they did a really great job of that in the film, both with the music itself and with the music that was coming from the characters in their own bands.
So you liked the pastiche element of like all the genres coming together, as well as like with the music, you know, working with the story, enhancing it.
Yeah, I thought the music did a really great job of kind of tying it all together.
I agree. Yeah, absolutely. I also really liked it. I found it really fascinating. I had a lot of questions afterwards, a lot of things I was wrestling with it, and I feel like that's a testament to how good it was, that it got me thinking.
I did see the movie, and I also liked it, and I think I've thinking about it more, I've sort of been very able to zero in on what's good about it. This sort of occurred to me later as I was talking about it with my parents who saw it, which is rare because they're busy adults with many important things to do.
Of course.
But for when me and Ben saw it together, and when we walked out,
No,
you were invited.
I was busy, I'm sorry. Doing those busy adult things you were just talking about.
When we walked out, I kind of said, it felt like Breaking Bad in high school, where instead of being about a midlife crisis, it's a coming-of-age story. For my parents, this is the generation gap. For my parents, it was risky business with black kids. And that made sense to me. So I liked it. I thought it was funny. I thought it was really insightful. That's the word. Insightful. Kind of necessary to have this voice of black teenagers in cinema right now.
So it was a good, unique story, but based off of kind of tried and true, similar stories that have been out there.
Yeah.
Well, I want to go a little bit into the music, because you mentioned that. There's that unforgettable moment at the beginning, you know, the shootout in the bar, you know, and that song go, you know, people want my power and they want my station. And, you know, there are a lot of moments like that are strange, you know. You've got this, you know, really horrific scene, and then, you know, this kind of jolly pop song playing. And then you've got the reversals in time in the middle of scenes, which those are kind of jarring too. So I'm interested to hear what all of you made of the offbeat feel of the film, how it wasn't played played straight, for lack of a less generic phrase.
I think sort of with the music, that kind of speaks to the fact that that's life for them. Like these sort of horrific shootouts they're terrifying and they're awful, but apparently I can't speak to this because I've never been to Englewood, but apparently that's what it's like sometimes, that it gets that violent. So I feel like the music was kind of doing their black comedy spin on this part of life there. And as far as the rewinds and the non-linear type stuff, that kind of felt like remixing, like what's popular in a lot of rap music, which definitely goes with the theme of the film.
One thing that I read in an article, they were mentioning that shot at the end where he puts on his hoodie and walks out into the night, and the article I read was saying, that could be read as a reference to Trayvon Martin. And so, I mean, do you think that casts that relates to this film and to all the other all the other young black men who have been killed in the past years, months, forever?
I think so. I think it's sort of like acknowledging that this movie is kind of a fantasy. Like it's that you can do all these illegal things and maybe get away with it, but in the real world that doesn't usually happen. That these things don't end so
Happy?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, I mean, I thought immediately that image is what, I thought that was the connection that they were trying to make. Tying it to Trayvon Martin with the hoodie in the end, like it kind of jumped out at me as that's the only possible reason they would have for putting that in there, because it's so very different from the way that he's dressed throughout the rest of the movie.
That's a good point. Yeah.
But they did a really good job. I think they kind of, the movie is a good story and it's a good movie in its own right, but I also very much got the feeling that they were using it to address in an accessible way a lot of issues that are kind of in the public conversation right now in terms of race and all of that. And I think, I don't want to say he felt a responsibility to or whatever, but it was a really strong cast, and having Zoe Kravitz in there, it's names that you recognize, and I think that it was, I don't know how to say this, but I think they did a really good job of tying in a lot of those conversations in a way that felt natural to tie them into the story without feeling preachy.
I talked to my dad for a little bit about this movie, and he's someone who, he not only was a black teenager who wanted to go to college and high school, but he now teaches high school. So one of the things that stuck out to him is just how much the system is stacked against this kid. He goes to his guidance counselor about going to college, and he says he wants to go to Harvard, and the guidance counselor says, "You're pretty cocky if you think you can get into Harvard." Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then there's the scene where they're in the school computer lab selling drugs, and the principal is giving a tour saying, "Oh, here's our students working on the Google Science Fair project." They have no idea what's going on.
Yes.
So the system's stacked against him from the start, and you really do get why selling drugs becomes the only logical solution to his problem.